Hello there, welcome to another code flow tutorial, and in this episode we're going to talk about HTML quotations and citations. Let's go. So sometimes when you're actually building a web page or for a website, you might want to decide to put some extract or probably a bit of information underneath your web page, or not only underneath your web page, but for in general use of quotations in your articles or blog posts if you're building a blogging website, just in case. So sometimes we have HTML attributes which have the ability to actually help you to bring out the best in your quotations and citations. And as you have probably guessed, we have just few words with just a few abbreviations as usual, and they're very simple to master, and we're going to do that in the next few minutes. So right now let's jump into Visual Studio Code, and our Visual Studio Code right here, Visual Studio Code, we're going to create the first comment, the first set of comments, and we're going to write making a quotation and citation element. Quite amazing, making a quotation and citation element. And let's give it a bit of a space. So the first one on our list right here, the first quotation element, we have a lot of quotation elements. We have the popularly known block quotes. A very good example of block quotes are the things that you see underneath a web page in which it's been stated that all rights reserved. Then you see the name of the company. The company has like a year date beside it. You see like something like Amazon 2022 or Paracure 2018. So let me say that kind of particular part is going to be indented, like maybe a bit italic sometime. So for that kind of reason, that is going to help you to identify the block quote. And the best way to identify the block quote is when styling the site most of the time. When styling it with CSS, the block quote is actually the black part of the bottom. You see the block quote mostly in black, and it's always at the bottom of the particular web page. So let's actually write a bit of a block quote. We use the tag block quote, and in the middle of the block quote we can have some quite interesting things to write. We can write, okay, let's write, this is a test website written by Paracure for the Code Flow series, and it is still going to be fun. Okay, let me say that this is a simple block quote, but you know this is just a bit of a quote. Let's add a p tag before this, and in this p tag we can write, this is a simple block quote. I know that you actually got the hang of that. So let's save that. First, let's create a line break so we can identify what is going on right here. So let's go back to our Google Chrome and let's preview this. And right in the bottom we can see that this is a simple block quote, and this is a test website written by Paracure for the Code Flow series, and it's going to be fun. So basically we've created a form of a bit of a quote right here. If we can manage to just style this a bit, then maybe we can have something much more interesting. Okay, we have the block, we have the p tag right here. So should we try and style this? Okay, we can try and style this if one actually want to give it a div tag. Okay, but let's not just go through the stress because we're trying to create something that's very short right here. So another quotation tag that we also have is known as cite, and cite mostly just turns the stuff into italic. Now I want to cite this Paracure. So what do I actually do? Let me just delete Paracure to make this easy. And my backspace has been pretty wonky nowadays. So cite, then you can write Paracure right in the middle. So I'm going to save all this, and by the time I go back to my Chrome and I reviewed this, you can see that Paracure has been turned to italic. You can see it is italic right here, which is kind of quite amazing because that means I've just cited something. Now the next one we also have is we have the Q tag, which is for just short quotations. Okay, so I want to just write maybe Q, okay, with not capital items. Anyway, HTML is not case sensitive actually. I can write it like that, but just for moral reasons of HTML, I'm going to write it like this. So Q, and I can write a bit of a quote. You never know what is impossible. Impossible when you have faith. Wow, okay. So let's go to our Chrome and let's preview this, and you can see that this has a bit of the quotation mark. When we move to HTML symbols and entities, you will learn more things about how to add marks like this and also diacritic marks. So definitely this is just how to add a bit of a short quotation. Another quotation and citation tag that we have is the ABBR, which stands for abbreviations. And as you know, we actually have to put abbreviations in some of our web pages. Okay? So let's create a bit of an abbreviation. To create abbreviation, we use the ABBR. But first, we have to create the paragraph tab, because it's in the middle of the paragraph tab that we get to type in our abbreviation. So for the paragraph tab, I want to talk about NAFDAC. NAFDAC is an agency in Nigeria that deals with administrations of food and drug. Okay, and food and drug, and that's just what they do. A form of an enforcement agency. So let me say something like that. Okay, so right now let's try and write a bit of an abbreviation. We use the tag ABBR, and we can just set a closing tag. Now in the ABBR we can write WHO as World Health Organization, but anyway, I've said that we're actually going to be writing NAFDAC. Why I actually wrote WHO in the first place is that I want to actually show that you can actually put in your abbreviations right in the middle of the ABBR tag. The NAFDAC, then you can continue, was founded in 1968. Okay, and you can save this, and once you go back to our Chrome and preview this and scroll down, you can see that NAFDAC has been highlighted right here and was founded in 1968. Although I might actually try to, but sometimes you might want to actually know the meaning of the abbreviation. I mean, that's why we should actually add a bit of a tag to. Let's add National Agency for Food and Drug Administrative Control. This is getting quite interesting. So we get to save this and go back to our Chrome and reload this, and we get this. Now, how you know that the abbreviation tag really works is that once you hover this, you're gonna see the menu right here. Okay, you can it's going to go away. You can see National Agency for Food and Drug Administrative Control. This is like a form of you trying to show them this is what the abbreviation means. Now, another way in which we can actually insert our quotation and citation remarks or tags is if we use the address. I mean, that the address is kind of going to be for the contact kind of information. So definitely if I want to add the address of someone, I can just say 10. It's not number 10, it's 10. Wellington Street, the United States of Asia. That doesn't exist. Of Asia, the world, planet Earth. Well, I sound like from the future. So planet Earth. And right now we can actually just preview this, but first let me try and create a bit of a separate kind of stuff so it doesn't mix up, something like this. So let's save this for now, and once we go back to our Chrome and we preview this, we can see the address being in italic form. 10 Wellington Street, the United States of Asia, the world, planet Earth. So basically that is very good. It's very okay. So earlier we've talked about cite and the other rest of the abbreviation. Now the last one on our list is known as the BDO, also known as the bi-directional override. And let's make use of that in the next few minutes. Let's create a simple template for the BDO use. We use the tag BDO. HTML is so simple. And so for the BDO, we can actually write a piece of information. This text goes from right, let's use from left to right, and right on the BDO tag we can decide to give it a bit of a direction, and I can say I want it from left to right. And once I save this and I go back to my Chrome and I preview this and I scroll down, you're gonna see this text go from left to right. It's actually gonna go from left to right. But actually, what if I actually say from right to left? And I preview this, you can see how this is actually going to turn from right to left. You can see it's actually turned over. So basically, these are basic ways of quotations and citation tags. You're actually not going to get to use much of the BDO tag, but it's great to have a great knowledge of what you can actually use it for. Maybe in crazy situations you want to use it for. So that's quite amazing. We are done with quotations and citations as a whole. And in the next tutorial, we're going to talk about HTML entities. Alright, I'll see you in the next tutorial.